Hello, everyone. This is week 24 of study group, and here are some group learning agreements. You already know the drill, so I'm not going to go over it today. And our vision for YSP program is to elevate people's growth mindset so we all achieve higher ambition. And our mission is to guide first generation high school students to pursue and obtain a college education. So what are the purpose of our study groups? 1, to increase your connections with other wise scholars. 2, improve your student success skills. That's the second one. And 3rd, to guide you to practice your growth mindset. So to prepare for this session, please open your YSP journal and to take notes for your assignments. So we're going to review what we learned the past 2 weeks, which are study skills and study place. So skills, why do you need study skills? Because it enables you to study smarter instead of studying harder. So you put in less work, but you're doing things more efficiently. And because you're doing things more efficiently, you're maximizing your homework time. So instead of struggling on finishing your homework, you already know what you're going to do because you have good study skills. So you're studying while you're teaching, while your teacher is giving you an overview of what they're trying to teach you. And because of that, and because you have better knowledge and you know what's going on in class, it improves on your test scores because you have better studying skills and you study more efficiently. And the result of doing better in your homework and doing better in your tests from having better studying skills, it helps you get better grades and a better GPA. Okay, now we're going to talk about study space. So last week we told you that an effective study space keeps you focused and helps you retain information. So an ineffective study space example would be your bed, your sofa, because you tend to fall asleep because it gets too comfortable. So it does not help you focus and it does not help you retain information. On the contrary, an effective study space will look like a desk with stuff on it, but organized, a library, right? Helps you stay focused and helps you retain information. Like I said at first, it is important to create a comfy space, but don't make it too comfy because you end up falling asleep. We all know what happens when you put on Zoom and you lie on bed. And the why you need to create comfort is because it creates a steady mood. So you feel comfortable and you want to continue doing it rather than being annoyed and not wanting to continue studying. So we talked about personalizing your study space the other day. So the way you can personalize it is by adding photos, posters, and colors. So adding photos of your family, your friends, your loved ones will help you feel more motivated if you love your family. And posters to just decorate it, have your idols up there to inspire and motivate you. And then colors, like we said last week, blue, green, purple, proven to help you be more calm and focused. So you can choose to paint your wall a new color, or you can just change a couple decorations to have a certain color to help you stay focused. And my favorite part of talking about study space last week was choosing the type of music to listen to. So the music you want to listen to while you're studying should have no lyrics and it should give you a positive mood. So listening to classical music, listening to the sound of nature like raindrops, water sounds, help you stay more focused. And I think it's proven that if you listen to the sound of water, it helps you stay forgot the percentage, but it helps you stay more focused. And there's actually a Spotify playlist on that. If anyone wants to try it out, I have it when I study. And remember to move that phone away because remember the graph we saw, the further it is away from you, the further away your phone is from you, the more likely you will score better on your test. Yes, okay. So try to keep it out of sight and set time limits so you can check on your phone if there's an emergency. Yeah. So today we'll be talking about improving note-taking, and note-taking is part of your studying skills. So this session will be successful if we develop awareness of your current study space and you learn tips on how to improve your study space so you can focus better. So first thing, I would like to discuss, well, we can't discuss because this is a video, but please write down in your notes what classes do you regularly take notes for, what classes do you not take notes for, and how do you decide when to take notes or not. So answer those 3 questions. You can feel free to pause the video and write it down. This will be in your assignments, by the way. Okay, I will share mine. Oh. Okay, oops. Sorry for the lag, guys. But so some classes I take notes for are econometrics, econometrics. It's a statistical analysis on economics data. And I take notes for urban transportation, and I take notes for antitrust law and policy and economic analysis. And the class I do not take notes for is Berkeley Changemaker. And I decide to take notes when I know I need to recall the information in the future. I recall information in the future. So if I know like I probably don't need it in the future because it's not going to be tested on, I probably won't take notes on it. So you can write down your responses in your journal. Ooh, okay. And the next thing I want to discuss, or I want you to think about, is how do you take notes? Feel free to find an image that represents it. I did not put an image for mine, but I take notes by writing outlines. So I would put down the title and or I put down the major topic for the entire thing, and then I have subtopics or maybe even subtopics, and I just write down notes for everything. And if there's like certain vocabulary I need to know, or a main point I need to know for sure, I would highlight it or add stars on the side so that I know that it's important and I should know this for sure. And yeah, bullet point details and summarize main ideas for my outlines or for in general. Because in college, the professor will post their lecture slides ahead of time. So I would write down bullet points and summarize their main ideas on the slides they give us. So that's what I do. And remember to write down what you do. All right, so the last Jamboard activity for now is, besides classes, give 2 other situations that you think require some form of note-taking. There's no right or wrong answer, just give me your honest opinion and thought on your journal. So for me, I think when you are working, it is important for you to take notes because especially during team meetings, when we're here at the teen center, we have team meetings. There are certain points that even us counselors need to remember, but we sometimes will forget. So I sometimes would get down notes for what I need to memorize and what I'm studying too. Yeah, it's besides classes, but studying on my own time, I would take notes again and reorganize it. And that's also a form of note taking. Right now, to continue, how to improve your note taking. So you always have to take notes, right? So whether it is classes, jobs, or internships or programs, you should always take notes. Why? Because taking notes saves you time in the future. When you take time and effort to write down your notes, you're already studying for the first time. So you're already retaining the material. You will be more familiar with the material later on. So we know the difference between good notes and bad notes. So if you have bad notes to start off with, you're gonna have to rewrite the notes so you can study better, because that's what I do sometimes. But if you already had good notes to start off with, then you don't need to rewrite your notes and it saves you a lot of time. Taking notes also help you build relationship. So imagine how others see you when they're talking to you and you are taking notes. So I heard that people like people who interview you like to see that you're taking notes of what they're talking about, and you're showing them that the respect that you're paying attention to what they're saying to you, and they learn to trust that you will be a hard worker because you already make the effort to memorize the details. And think about how your boss will see you when they tell you something important and you forgot the details later on because you thought you could remember it all. So yes. Taking notes also help you understand. Writing notes is different from just copying down what the teacher wrote. Writing notes is taking information and translating it into something you can understand. When you do that, you will know what parts need more explanation and what parts you need to ask questions about. Yeah, so when I take notes, I try to categorize the information into different sections. So when I categorize my notes into different sections or different topics, it's already helping me understand because I'm like, oh, these stuff go together. These stuff go together. Oh, these stuff correlate with this. A correlates with B, right? And they have connection. A and B have connection because of this thing, right? So taking notes help you understand. Now we're gonna talk about the note-taking methods. So the most we're gonna teach you 3 different ways to take notes. So the first one is outlining, right? So you have a topic. The topic here is finding a cure for AIDS. And then they have a subtopic, which is treating the disease and funding the research. And then under that, they have testing new drugs and distributing vaccines are ways that they're treating the disease, which is helping you find a cure for AIDS. So you know how neat notes will help you understand things better because you're already categorizing it. And that's how most of us remember information, by categorizing and finding similarities between different things. I don't really do mapping, but I know some people do mapping to help them like memorize information and find connections. I do my mapping through outlines. So I do like a mental mapping, but a lot of people do like the mapping and flowcharts to help them take notes. And the most common ones that you guys probably know is the Cornell method, right? So you write the notes on the right side and you write the keywords on the left side. And then at the bottom of the page, you write down a summary. Yeah, so this is a very popular form of note taking, and you typically draw a line down. Yeah. So that's the Cornell method. And there's obviously different ways for you to take notes too, but you do have to analyze yourself if is that a good note-taking method or is that a really bad note-taking method, right? You have to be able to understand the information, but we're not saying all of these are like the perfect way for you to take notes. We're just suggesting that these are the methods that are preferably, yeah, we just prefer you to use these methods, but obviously everyone studies differently, everyone takes notes differently. It's just up to you on how you want to take it. So here's a note-taking practice. So this passage here, how would you take notes for this passage here? Let me read it for you. An American art collector was not monkeying around when he paid $26,000, around $26,000 for 3 paintings created by a chimpanzee. The 3 brightly colored abstract pieces were painted by Congo, a chimpanzee artist. They were created during 1950s when Congo was just 3 years old. And here's the different ways Audie suggests you to take notes. So you can either make an outline. So you can write you can have a main point here and then notes 1, notes 2. You can map it out. You can have your Cornell notes. And this will be all your journal activity. So write down how you would take notes for this passage. Okay, feel free to pause the video to write down how you would write down the notes. And I will show you an example right now on how I did it. So this is my example right here. So I did a mapping of the story. So I was like, okay, he paid this much money for 3 painting. And then it was made by a chimpanzee. And the painting equals bright color and abstract. Remember that when you're taking notes, it's not just copy and pasting, it's translating it in a way for you to understand. So that's why I made this into an equation, because I find it easier to understand for myself. I would put plus abstract actually. And then another note point is chimpanzee was named Congo, and Congo painted all 3 painting when he was 3, which is 1950s. So that's how I wrote the notes down for this. And that is it for today, but remember to complete your summer's activities playbook. It is due Sunday. And if you are watching this video, there is an assignment due since you have skipped the normal session. So once you do the assignments, you have to submit it to either me or your counselor or Audie, whoever you like, to get your credit back. And that will be it for today. And thank you very much for watching the video.